Welcome. What's going on, everybody? How we doing today? Happy Wednesday. So good to be here. So good to see you guys. Let me know if you can hear me and see me, all that good stuff. Actually, let me change the chat type to live chat so I can see all the comments. Thank you, Frederick. Looks good and sounds good. Appreciate that. How's everybody doing today? It has been a crazy, kind of hectic week for me and my smart home and just all the things. We can get into that. Let's say hi to some folks real quick and we'll get started. If you're new here, or if maybe this is your first live stream, welcome first of all. So good to hang out. We'll just kind of hang out for the next hour or so and talk about smart home stuff. We'll do a Q&A. You guys, good time for you guys to ask questions, and I'll do my best to get to all the questions and all that good stuff. But yeah, let's say hi to some folks. Let's see who all is here and how everybody's doing. Nate, what's going on, Nate? Scott is here. What's up, Scott? Lone Star Trent. Brian is here. What's up, Brian? Been playing with that new Aqara T1. All right, loving it. Let's see. JP the Burge, Chris, Frederick, Dennis. How you guys doing? How's the weather for you guys? It's been nice and hot here. Crazy thunderstorms as usual. Lawrence is here. Cheddar Mac, what's going on from Omaha? Peter. All right. At My Home is here. What's going on, Mark? How you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Sam is here in the house. It's my birthday soon in March. Very nice. We got Mason from UK, from London. All right, good. We got people from all over the place here. Oh, Raleigh, North Carolina's in the house. Glee, how you doing, Glee? Not too far. I spent many years in North Carolina myself growing up, and always kept ending up going back to North Carolina. We'd move, military brat, move, come back, move, come back. Always found our way back to North Carolina, though, many times. Vietnam, if you know. You probably know. Frederick, Lone Star Trent, triple digits here. Set a new record. Woo! For consecutive days above 100. Woo, that's hot. Humidity here has been killing us, though. But yeah, so what's been going on with y'all's smart homes? Anything new? I tell you what, it has been something else for me. I think last week we did. If you were on the stream last week, we did. I shared a little bit about my thread troubles. It has been, it's been wild. I've been doing everything in my power to keep from having to nuke my smart home, because starting from scratch is almost not an option for me with all the accessories and stuff I've got. But yeah, it's been kind of a nightmare. Still dealing with it, trying to figure it out. I've been on the phone. I was actually on the phone with Apple support today and had to cut it short, unfortunately, so that I could be here with you guys. But I will get back on the phone with them as soon as possible, probably tomorrow. Try to get to the bottom of my thread issues. But hopefully that is my issues are the exception and not the norm, and all your smart homes are working just fine. It's been a recent issue with something's going on with my thread network. Can't really quite figure it out. So we'll get to the bottom of it, and then I'll share with you guys, and hopefully we can help somebody else that if you guys ever end up with those issues. Marcus L says, sorry if I butchered the name. What issues are you having? So it's been really weird trying to diagnose all my issues. I'm actually able to get my thread network and thread accessories to work sometimes. This is kind of getting into the weeds, but it seems like only when an Apple border router takes over as the primary Homekit hub that actually has thread capability, which is weird. That's when I have the issues. So like when I remove all my HomePod minis, all my Apple thread border routers from the network, unplug them all, and let's say go with just like a Nanoleaf border router, all my thread stuff works. And I'll, using an old Apple TV 4K, something like that as the hub, it all works. which is really weird. That doesn't make any sense. I think there's something going on with my thread network. I think recently Nanoleaf thread border routers were able to join the same thread network as the Apple border routers. So I don't know if that's part of the issue, but we're trying to get to the bottom of it. You know, we'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll get to the bottom of it one way or another. But that kind of gets into the weeds. Yeah, it's been tons of troubleshooting. And if you've done this kind of thing, you know, just to try to figure out what the common denominator is. You know, for me, I was just like, what is going on? Thread stuff's not working, then it is. And just trying to figure out what's causing it and figure out those common denominators has been quite the process. Polka McMaster, what's going on, Homekit friends? I'm having the same problems with thread. Interesting. Well, stay tuned and follow along. I'll share any resolutions that I come across. I don't think Apple has even seen anything quite like what I've experienced, so I don't know, again, what it is. Maybe, maybe that recent update with the Nanoleaf stuff. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Stay tuned. If I figure out something, I will let you know. Only thread device is the Aqara door sensor. Okay, got that new thread one. Yeah, I've got all my thread stuff from across all the different brands, you know, so it's definitely not like a product issue. It's a network issue or a thread network issue, because I've got Eve thread stuff, I've got Nanoleaf thread stuff, I've got let's see, on this gosh, there's more and I'm drawing a blank, but the air purifier, the locks, yeah, so lots of thread stuff. And I wonder if HomePod 17 will address this when it's released next month. I don't know. And that's kind of, you know, hopefully, I guess, in all my troubles here, you know, if there is some issue that needs to be addressed or patched or whatever, then hopefully we can, you know, help Apple figure that out, and it won't happen to other people maybe. My app, or At My Home, says we were testing Homey Pro and they support Matter through thread. Isn't there? Oh, and they support Matter. The thread isn't there yet. Able to install TP-Link smart plug that is HomeKit and able to pair another Tapo directly. Awesome. That's cool. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. I've actually got Homey Pro right here. So I finally got one. And because I've been dealing with all these other, just trying to stabilize my smart home in general, it's kind of put me behind, honestly, as far as like testing and making stuff. So, you know, that's coming though. I'll definitely be testing that and I'll share with you guys. Excited to test that out. Hoops Pro is another similar one coming out in a little while. So yeah, let's see. Paul, what's going on, Paul? We got a super chat from Paul. Thank you, Paul. Let me hit first of all, let's bring that up. Thank you, Paul, so much for the super chat. Let's hit the button. And let's see. I saw the new Aqara Lightstrip is out. Are you going to review it? If so, are you going to show how to cut it and reattach it? Your content is amazing. Never miss a video. Oh, Paul, thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate that. Really appreciate the support. Let's see. Can I tap? Oh, I didn't mean to get rid of that there. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, I don't know. Sorry. I was trying to heart the comment. Anyways, yes. So that was one of the things we're going to talk about. We can go ahead and jump into some things so you guys don't have to hear me continuously ramble about my thread network issues. I'm sure you can only take so much of that. So, Paul, thank you for bringing this up. And to answer your question real quick, I did do a really quick, it was just a short video. You may have saw it, you may have seen it. It wasn't obviously a full review, but it was basically like everything I think you need to know in under a minute about the new Lightstrip. So that's on my YouTube channel as a short. I also posted on Instagram. I think I put it on TikTok. I think I put it everywhere. That's just a little short 1 minute thing about all the features. So you can check that out. And again, I think that covers everything you need to know about it. Now, as far as our actual review and my experience, at the moment, I don't plan to do a full dedicated video on it, but I do plan to release a video comparing it to some of the other thread is on my mind. Comparing it to some of the other Matter light strips. So that makes it the third light strip that natively supports Matter. So I wanted to kind of do a little comparison, a little something different, because I think a lot of people will probably be interested in that, and kind of because there are some pretty big differences between the few Matter light strips that are available. So that's going to be coming soon. Again, I am a little bit behind because of all these thread network issues. And one of those light strips that comparing is a thread light strip. So I had to stabilize my thread network long enough just to be able to like shoot video and stuff for that. But anyways, that video is going to be coming as soon as possible. So be on the lookout for that. It's coming soon. And let's go ahead and just, for those who may not be watching smart home stuff every single day, like the rest of us crazy folks here, this is the light strip we are discussing. This is the new Aqara T1. And actually, guys, there is I put a link, because I knew we were going to talk about this today. I put a link and a discount code down in the description of the live stream. So if you do want to pick one up, I think the discount code is good until tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. I put the date and everything down there. So if you do want to, pick one of these up and you don't have that discount code, you can use that. That's good. There's one for for Europe and for North America. So check that out. But yeah, this is what we're talking about here. $50. It is a Zigbee light strip. So that means you do need to have an Aqara hub for this. But yeah, so there's some pros and cons. I'll cover that for sure in my video about these light strips. But it's a pretty dang good light strip. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really loving it. It's probably not for everybody, but if you're into the Aqara stuff, if you already have an Aqara hub, it's a really good light strip, I think. Like I said, especially if you already have an Aqara hub. And there's some things you can do with this light strip in terms of Homekit that you can't do with a lot of other light strips, Matter or no Matter. So you can get like scenes and stuff over into Homekit, and it has adaptive lighting, which is nice, but that doesn't work if you're using it with Matter. It gets really complicated, actually, some of the differences, but good light strip, all in all, I would say. Well, let's check out some of these comments here. Larry says, thank you for the clarification about the new Aqara T1. From what you're telling me, it will work with my Aqara M2 hub, but will only, let me see, from what you're telling me, it will work with any Aqara M2 hub, but will only work with Google and Amazon ecosystems if you have the Matter firmware. That's a good question right there. I know if you want to use it with those ecosystems through Matter, then yes, you have to have I'm trying to see it on here if it has, yeah, it doesn't have any of the like stamps. I was looking on the box here for the T1. This is it right here. I was trying to see if it had any of the stamps for like Homekit, and it does have it right here. But see, it's so confusing now. Like, I don't know. So Aqara has, and maybe somebody knows the answer to this. Aqara has like an Alexa skill. It has Google Home integration without Matter. So I don't know if you can, I would say if you can use, if you're using it without Matter in those other ecosystems, this would still work paired to your hub, I would think. But I haven't tested that, so I can't say for sure. But definitely with Matter, you can use it everywhere, if that makes sense. It will work with any legacy integration. Okay, so all right, that's a good way to put it, legacy integration. So it still will work with kind of like HomeKit, I guess. And that's kind of what I assumed. Thank you, Lawrence, for that. So it appears that it will still work with Google Home, Alexa, or whatever if you're not using your hub with Matter. Same thing with HomeKit. You can still use it with HomeKit without Matter, but won't work with Amazon with Matter because Matter won't talk to Matter bridges. Okay, good point there. So, but yeah, to answer the question about it working without Matter, looks like it can work with those other ecosystems without Matter. So. Reason I was confused is Brad and Adam said on their reviews that you must have M2 with the Matter firmware for it to work. I think, and I'm not sure, I watched their videos kind of in passing. I think they probably said you have to, in order for it to work with Matter, you have to have the hub updated to Matter. That's what I assume, or maybe that's what they intended. That's probably what they meant either way. But yeah, if you want to use it with Matter, you do have to have a hub updated with Matter, but you can certainly use it in HomeKit or wherever without Matter if you want. So if you haven't updated your Aqara bridges to Matter. So I hope that kind of clarifies things and makes some sense. Don says, since the T1 supports adaptive lighting, I would think it would work with HomeKit without Matter, since I do not believe Matter supports adaptive lighting. Yep, that's 100% correct, Don. And if you have this paired to an Aqara hub that's not bound to Matter, it will work in HomeKit. You will have adaptive lighting. You can bring over like the lighting effects and all that stuff. However, if you have this paired to an Aqara hub that is bound to Matter, you will lose adaptive lighting and some of those other features. So just like you said, because Matter doesn't support adaptive lighting. So it's kind of the caveat there. All right, let's see. Larry says, I don't want to update my M2 because I want to keep, yep. And that's another good, probably one of the best reasons not to update your hub to Matter is if you're utilizing that security system. For me, I kind of want to update mine now to Matter because I have with all my Aqara hubs, I have 4 security systems in my HomeKit setup that I'm not using as security systems. But yes, when you update your bridge, your Aqara hub to support Matter, you do lose that security system attribute because again, Matter doesn't support that. All right, cool. Yeah, and I saw, was it Lone Star Trent? Yeah, it says SwitchBot is getting updates too. That is correct. So right here, we had another article pulled up. You guys can, so as of now, Matter for more SwitchBot devices. So this is pretty exciting here. I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this. So recently they updated the hub, the SwitchBot Hub 2 to support IR capability. Again, I think you can only pair up to 3 IR devices with it through Matter. But now it says with the latest SwitchBot app version 7.4 and the new hub firmware version 1.0-09, the popular SwitchBot bot with button press arm, SwitchBot contact sensor, and the SwitchBot motion sensor are now available through Matter. That's really cool. So that is, I'm seeing this little guy right here. Now, has anybody tried this out yet? I have not. So I know my firmware is up to date. I was actually just checking before the stream, but I have not updated my hub yet. Again, all the crazy smart home troubleshooting. I'm a little bit behind, but I am excited to try this out. I want to test out those button pressers and get those working into HomeKit. That's awesome. I know a lot of us have wanted that for a long time. So let's see. Let me check if you guys, anybody doing that? Has anybody tried it? I was disappointed Aqara's M2 doesn't bridge its IR to Matter. Yeah, that is true. I agree. I feel like they should, and they can certainly push an update, a firmware update, to bring that in the future. Although with the ability to export scenes from the Aqara app, you can do a lot with that. So I'm doing a video, be on the lookout for that, where we're going to be talking about that a little bit. But you can, so like the limitation with Matter IR devices like the SwitchBot Hub 2, for example, you can only pair up to 3 IR devices. But if you're exporting scenes from the Aqara app, again, you have to have a hub, an Aqara hub that's not paired, that's not bound to Matter for this to work. But if you have just one in your setup, you can export scenes to Homekit, and you can export as many as you want. So that's pretty cool, I feel like. But yeah, it's getting confusing. I feel like I'm confusing myself talking about all these hubs and bridges, and like Matter was supposed to make things simple, but we are far from that, it seems like. What's a good starting point for a smart home? Well, I would say is it Adam? Adam Wilson, maybe? I would say, Adam, maybe just, first of all, I would probably figure out what smart home ecosystem you want to work in or use. You know, if it's Apple Home, you know, start there, get you a HomePod Mini or an Apple TV as your hub, your HomeKit hub, and then just get any devices that support Apple Home with the little logo like that. Now, if you really want to kind of err on the side of caution, get stuff that supports Matter. If you're just starting, because Matter will work with all of the smart home ecosystems. So that way, if you want to, you know, jump and do Google Home later or whatever, you can change your mind. Matter will work with all of them. And again, Matter is that little thing right there. So anything that has that on it, you should be good to go. And then aside from that, if you're really just starting, make sure you have a good network, get a good Wi-Fi router. That's probably the first step. And from there, you know, just start adding the devices that, you know, that you want to automate. Matter makes it simple. I don't know. It can, but when we start talking about all these bridges and hubs and things, it's far from simple when you got like this Aqara thing, for example. I mean, I've gotten so many comments that say, well, I'm not supposed to use I shouldn't have to use hubs with Matter. Well, you know, the T1, it says right there on the box that a hub is required, you know, so it's not that straightforward. If you're just starting out and, you know, you want a Lightstrip, this says on the box it supports Matter. Well, guess what? You also have to have a hub. Well, that Aqara hub has to be bound to Matter, but it might not be bound to Matter. So, yeah, I mean, it's a little more confusing than for people just starting off. That's my 2 cents. Personally, I like Matter, but my Maris MS315 has problems with my router. I had to switch it to the router since the Maris plug made my G2 band unusable. That's unusual. I had issues with the Maris smart plugs too, with Matter. So before, yeah, they were going offline, I think, a lot. So I kind of just, I removed those. It wasn't working well for me. All my other Matter stuff has been pretty solid though, not including my thread issues, which is that's a different topic. But all the Matter stuff it's been getting a lot better for me, for sure. Yeah, I get it, Lawrence. I hear you, buddy. But people who are just starting, you know, you try to tell them all that stuff that you just said in that comment, it gets a little confusing. You know, I mean, it's not simple. Yeah, and we're looking at it's, you know, that's more confusing than people want, I think, starting out the gate. Me and you, we deal with this stuff all the time, so we get it. But it's not as simple as they make it out to be. You know, when you look at the Matter. The Matter, like little promo spots and stuff, little advertisements that they do. You know, they say you walk into the store, you see the Matter logo, it'll just work. You know, yeah, there's a bunch of asterisks that we got to look at though still, and I think people just need to kind of pay attention and do their research. And that's my 2 cents again. Sam, what's going on, Sam? We have a super chat. Thank you, Sam, for the super chat. Oh, let's get that to work. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm having an issue with my, if I angle the device. What is the issue with? I missed that, Sam. I'm having an issue with my something if I angle the device on a 43 degree. I think that is I think that's a joke. Thank you, Sam, for the super chat. Yeah, it's got to be at a 44 degree angle. I mean, everybody knows that. Are you using beta software? If that's for me, then the answer is no. Typically, I try not to because I don't want to break my smart home, because that's, how I make content and stuff like that. And also, I live with people who, they just want things to work, and that's been kind of a nightmare. I guess the wood. I will say that. I have one thing I've learned is that my wife actually appreciates the smart home. And I know that now because once I have had to remove all my home pods and stuff, like in all this troubleshooting that I've been doing, she's been like, I keep hearing her like talking to Siri, like, do this, do that, or set timers and close the blinds and stuff. And I keep telling her, like, babe, it's unplugged right now. I'm troubleshooting, just bear with me. And she's like, dang, she's then gotten used to having all this stuff, and it becomes apparent when when nothing's working. Sam, yes, a 44 degree angle. That's too funny. Thank you for the super chat, Sam. I appreciate that. Too much tequila. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Starting early. Well, I don't know. I say early. It may very well not be early for you. It's not that early either. I know I'm ready for, I tell you what, all this troubleshooting and stuff, I'm ready for something strong myself. Has there been any update with 2.0 considering the smart lock? Well, I do not know if, again, I've been having so many issues with my Thread network that I'm not sure if there has been an update to the 2.0 button. I don't know if you're talking about an update for the firmware, or I guess you're talking about for the smart lock. I don't know anything as in terms of release date or stuff like that. Definitely keeping an eye out, and when that becomes available or when I know something, you guys will be the first to know. Definitely looking forward to another smart lock that supports Homekit, because we only have, what is it, 3? I think only 3 right now. Paul says, yes, I feel your pain, keeping everyone in the household happy with your smart home. Mark, what's going on, Mark? Mark used his monthly member chat. So reminder, a lot of the, I see a lot of members in here. If you guys are a member, you can use these. I think it's every month you can use one of these. So Mark, thank you for being a member and supporting the channel for 4 months. If I move my Aqara E1 hub from Homekit to Matter, do I need to remove it from Homekit and rebind it with Matter? Will I lose all paired devices? Okay, so what happened with me, and if anybody has done this recently, this may have changed. So take this with, I guess, caution, because for me, it was probably back in maybe January or February, earlier. It was early in the year when I tried this, the last time I tried this. And what it did at the time for Aqara was when I updated my Aqara hub to Matter, it basically duplicated everything in the home app. So I had my original one was still there, and then I think it went all unresponsive, but it was still there. And then there was the new version, with Matter, and all the accessories and stuff, they get brought over automatically, just like, you know, anytime you add a hub or something like that with HomeKit support. So I don't know if anybody has done this more recently. If so, let Mark know your experience in the chat. But let's see, I'm just trying to read through and see if anybody has done this. Okay, thank you. Gabriel says it's still the same. It keeps duplicating stuff, and one of these, one remains unresponsive. Okay. And Lawrence also says, yes, you want to lose them in the Aqara Hub. You won't lose them in the Aqara Hub, but you will in HomeKit P1 sensor via HomeKit and P1 via Matter. Okay, so yeah, that's yep, looks like it's still the same. Thank you guys for chiming in. Like I said, it's been a while. I was really hoping they were gonna, you know, kind of streamline that, I guess. I will say Eve is one brand that really did it right when it comes to the what would you call that? I don't know, upgrading your devices to Matter your existing devices, because it carried over all your HomeKit automations and all that stuff. They really did it well, I thought. But yeah, unfortunately, it does duplicate stuff. It can get a little messy. That's why personally, I haven't, like, my primary Aqara. So I typically have one Aqara hub that I have like all my sensors and stuff paired to. And I haven't moved that one over to Matter yet either, because I just really I got enough issues with my smart home right now that I'm not trying to go through that. But you know, there'll be a time where I will, but I don't really see the need to for me right now. Like I said, there's actually still some benefits to using your car stuff without Matter in a lot of cases. If I have two Apple TVs and a HomePod Mini, should I need any other hub? Well, Yanni, that just depends. You shouldn't need any other hub. Again, this is where it gets confusing. So if you're just getting devices you need to look at the protocol. So this is why when I'm buying a new product, or if I'm giving advice to somebody who's buying a new product for their smart home, I usually just look at two things. One, what does it support? So does it support Matter? If it does, it should work with any smart home. Does it support Apple Home? Or if it doesn't support Matter, I should say, does it support Apple Home, Google Home, whatever it is you're using? So that's the first thing I look at. So let's say it supports Matter. The second thing I look at is what protocol it uses to connect. So there's Wi-Fi devices like this. Any device that connects over Wi-Fi, you don't need any other hubs. There are Thread devices like this. This connects directly to Thread. So that'll connect directly to your HomePod Mini, for example. You don't need any other hubs. But then you got devices like Zigbee products like this. This does require an Aqara hub. And usually it'll tell you somewhere like requires an Aqara hub or something. Philips Hue devices, they still require a Philips Hue bridge. So it's really going to depend on the products that you're looking at. I hope that kind of helps answer that question. Gabriel says, if you have the U100, don't use it via Matter. You'll lose the HomeKit support. You should be able to, you shouldn't lose HomeKit support because Matter's, that supports obviously HomeKit. So, HomeKey. Okay. HomeKey. Really? Huh. I did not know that was the case. I'll have to check that out and revisit that. I did not think that was the case. Interesting. Sam says lose the HomeKey support. Interesting. Wow. At my home, got around. Have a great day. All right, see you later. Thanks for joining us, Mark. Good to have you here. Hoops Pro is expensive. Yes, it sure is. It sure is. Let's see. I think I have some questions. George, what's going on? George, Silverhammer Surveillance. Sorry, man. I'm not sure how long you've been in the chat. forgot to say hey to you. Got to get back to work. Never moving again. Seems like a move every year. Wanted to at least say hello and keep the streak alive. Have a good one. George is probably already gone. But thank you, George, if you're watching this later, maybe. Glad you could make it for a minute. Yeah, moving sucks. I used to move a lot myself. Oh, man, I missed this super chat. Thank you so much, Don. I appreciate you. Don says, thanks again for all the effort you put into this channel and subject matter. Quick question. Again, sorry, Don, that I didn't get to this earlier. Did Abode and Apple work out the issues with motion sensors and home mode triggering the alarm? That's a good question. I don't know the answer either off the top of my head because let me see. Home mode should not trigger the alarm. I'm trying to think if I have any motion sensors that would do this. So I primarily use door sensors and not motion sensors. So it definitely shouldn't trigger the alarm. Don, if you're still here, does the camera motion sensor, does that count as a part of that? So in other words, does the camera motion sensor typically trigger the alarm also? Because I use the home mode a lot on mine. I don't have any motion sensors set up though, but I do have a camera, the one that's built into the Iota. So I don't know, Don, if you're still around, let me know. I'll try to answer that for you. But for me personally, the motion sensor on the camera part does not set off the alarm. So I'm not sure specifically if there's been any big updates in regards to that. And I don't use any of their other motion sensors, so I can't say for sure. Is Hoops Pro going to be worth it, or better going with regular Hoops? Well, Hoops Pro is going to give you definitely some more capability, but I haven't, I've only just looked at the website and stuff like that. I haven't, let's see, I guess we can pull it up. I have not tested this myself yet, but I hope to. And so once I get a chance to test it out and really use it, I'll let you know if I think it's worth it. I think it's going to be a lot more capable than this. And I mean, the original, if you're buying that, that's still $250. So not cheap by any means. But it's going to have Thread built in. So it worked as a Thread a Thread border router, which is nice. It supports Matter. I think, it's going to be similar to kind of the Homey Pro type of device. So I'm looking forward to using these a little bit more and seeing, see what it's all about, I guess. All right, let's see. And today I'm trying a little differently. I'm trying to stay in the chat instead of creating the other separate Q&A. If you joined the last few live streams, we tried that. So if I miss your question or comment, I do apologize, but I'm trying to kind of keep it all in the same chat this time. Let's see. Kevin, what's going on, Kevin? How you doing, man? Thank you for the support and being a member for 6 months. I do appreciate it. Kevin says, my Aqara P2 door sensor is always offline. Any suggestions? All my other Thread devices work okay. Well, I really don't have any great solutions for you, Kevin. If all your other Thread devices are working okay, then I would assume your Aqara P2 should also. You've probably done this already, but just check to make sure that it is connected over Thread. You can check, your Thread network in the Eve app. If you haven't already done that, check that. just make sure it is connecting over thread. And other than that, and making sure you have, a thread, device, or somehow it has a decent connection to that thread network, whether it's a border router or some other router, thread router. I really don't know what else to tell you if your other thread devices are working okay. It'd be one thing if all your thread stuff wasn't working, but I'm really not sure. That's a tough one there. I might would contact Aqara if you haven't already, and see. Aside from that, just remove it, repair it, reset it maybe. But yeah, nobody likes that answer. I'm not really sure there. And again, I've been having so many thread issues across the board that I can't really say how mine has been in the past probably 2 weeks. Let's see. Europlane 77. Hey Shane, just love the channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. We are renovating one portion of our house after my father moved out, so I'm going to get a lot of new smart gadgets. I have Aqara sensors all over if I buy now Aqara. Very nice. That's awesome. Always exciting when you get to redo some new sections. I'm kind of getting to that point where I've pretty much made just about every room smart in some capacity in my house now. There's obviously little things you can do here and there, but if you get a new area, like we're considering doing like a screened in back porch or doing some kind of addition or something to the house maybe in the near future. So the idea of just having a new room that I can like add smart devices and stuff, oh yeah, that's exciting. Randy, thank you for the super chat, Randy. I appreciate that very much. Randy says, hey Shane, just want to say thanks for the great content and ideas. My fiance would disagree due to the automations that I'm working out the kinks of. I totally get that, Randy. I 100% know what that's like. I try my best to do all the testing and stuff, like here in the studio or away from the main parts of the house, but sometimes like that FP2, that one right there, the wife has not been happy with that one because I've been testing that out in like the main areas because I really want to lock down some automations, but you know what it's like. In order to get those automations just right, you gotta tinker with them a little bit sometimes before they are right, and in turn upset the spouse. Sometimes. Hopefully not too bad, though. Lone Star Trent, what's going on? Lone Star Trent says, I'm not sure what's going on. I updated my M2 hub to Matter, and my U100 still works with Homekit. Not sure what's going on there. I don't know. And I'm not sure I can't remember if that one is a separate Matter update or if that gets updated through the hub. Yeah, I think that is through the hub too. So yeah, I'm not sure either if Homekit is still working, but if it is paired through Matter, that's a good thing. The new Nanoleaf essential light strips and bulbs with Matter are showing no response in the Home app, but were previously working. They are working in the Nanoleaf app. Have you seen this issue with Matter? So more so, and for me, it's been more of a thread thing than Matter. I've had some Matter. I haven't had any issues with Matter stuff. Lately, I've been having issues with thread stuff. And yes, I have seen some similar issues to this lately, but I've been seeing some really crazy stuff with my thread network as I've been rambling on about today. I don't know if mine is kind of like edge case scenario, but I'm still in the process, and hopefully tomorrow we'll speak with Apple some more, trying to get to the bottom of some of these issues. But yeah, I've seen similar issues to this. So hopefully I'll figure out what's going on with mine, and then that will in turn maybe help some other people who may experience similar issues too. But I'm still working on it here. Question: I have a scene set up to control both ways at the same time when I press the Pico. What's the question? You mean like a toggle? Is that something, Trey, maybe you meant? Like, is there a way to do a toggle? You said I have a scene. Are you saying how to do that? If that's the question, you have to do convert. If you want to do a toggle, if that's the question, you have to do in your automation do a button press and then convert to shortcut. When you do convert to shortcut, you can do a little bit of scripting there. All you need is an if action. You just say if this light is on, turn it off. Otherwise, turn it on, for example. So that's how you would set up like a toggle, if that's the question. Hopefully that helps. Mikey, what's going on? Mikey says, question, are you still using scripted for your smart home and recommend? Thank you for your channel and all you have done for our community. Well, thank you, Mikey. I appreciate that. Yes, I am still using scripted and it works well for me. I really like it. I do still need to figure out how to do automatic updates to my plugins. So if anybody has any good advice on setting that up, I need to do some automations there, because every time that's the only thing is I just have to open up scripted every now and then and make sure all my plugins are up to date, because if one needs an update, then I usually lose the stream in the home app. But aside from that, it works great. Yeah, I do recommend it. I think it's great for those like PoE cameras and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Yeah, please only ask your question once. Thank you, Brian. And I'll get some feedback from maybe some of you members too. I'll ask over in the Discord channel later, and you guys can let me know what you guys think, if the dedicated Q&A is good during these live streams, or if you like it more like this. But yeah, I'm always open to suggestions for these live streams and all this stuff. I'm just learning as we're going, so we can always improve. But I hope you guys enjoy it. I have not tested the new Maris Fan HomeKit switch combo personally. No, I have not. Okay, Europlane, I'm sorry, my question was cut in two parts. My question, if I buy another Aqara hub, will it ring together with the main hub? Yeah, so in my experience, the hubs have always worked really well together. So if you have additional hubs, you said ring together, so I'm assuming if the security system is triggered or something, they will all sound. They do work really well together. At least that's been my experience. And if you turn one off, they should all silence and stuff like that. So yeah, you shouldn't have any issues with that. My HomeKit has 130 devices and 230. Whoo, that's a lot of automations there. Controller for HomeKit is a must-have. Thanks for your video. For your video on this app. On that app, I guess. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. Whew, that is a lot of automations and a lot of devices. I don't know how many devices I have actually. But I do know that the controller for HomeKit app is a good one. I was just using it the other day. So let's see, was it yesterday or the day before? We're back to my thread issues here. So in my troubleshooting, I decided, okay, maybe there's a conflict between the thread border routers from Nanoleaf and the thread border routers from Apple. It kind of seemed like what was happening, so I said, all right, I didn't want to do this, but I decided to remove. That's why that thing is so bright, the Nanoleaf. Usually I adjust those through my automations and stuff, and I turn them down for live streams and everything. Anyways, that's a thread border router as well as some of these others, so I removed all those from Apple Home, but I have a lot of automations set up with those. And so I did a backup in the controller for HomeKit app. That's where I was going with that. The controller for a HomeKit app allows you to do backups, and you can restore and replace accessories. So if I re-add those, to HomeKit or to my home app, I can then kind of do like a restore and replace, like replace a device with a new device in the controller for HomeKit app. So if you're not familiar with that app and haven't used it, and you're getting more deeper and deeper into this smart home journey, definitely worth checking out. Because I really hope I don't have to set up all those automations again for all of these Nanoleaf. I've got like a bunch of shapes and lines, and I've got some of the elements. Excuse me. So definitely nice to be able to do those backups. Let's see. All right, I'm going to try to get to some of these questions and comments I might have missed. Mark says, I was considering buying some Nanoleaf stuff, but not hearing good things on here. I like Nanoleaf stuff. I have heard of some people with issues. I think probably the issue is that it's probably the thread stuff lately. Probably people having issues with the thread network maybe. But like those connect over Wi-Fi, but they do act as thread border routers. I know it gets a little confusing, but yeah, the thread or the Nanoleaf shapes and lines, oh man, I think they look awesome. I love them. Brian says Eve switches are probably some of the best you can buy. Yeah, but they don't have dimmers. There are not many thread options, and I wouldn't recommend the Wemo ones. Yeah, that's probably. I mean, I'm still using my Wemo. I have one Wemo dimmer. I'm still using it. It's fine. I haven't had any major issues with it. It works most of the time. But yeah, I agree with the Eve stuff, and I don't think there's any thread dimmers available yet. All right, let's see. What's the best way to move from the HomePod Mini as the main hub to my Apple TV hub? Remington Howell says. So the best way to do that is just to restart your HomePod Mini. So you can do that right there in the Home app. Usually I've found that just restarting a hub through the settings will just take it offline just long enough for another HomeKit hub to take over. Usually that works. If not, just unplug it for, a minute, plug it back in, and the other hub will probably take over. I've actually been getting my steps in because I've been running up and down the stairs and all over the place in my house, unplugging HomeKit hubs, plugging them back in, restarting all this stuff for the past week, trying to figure out like what was the common denominator with my issues. But I've been doing a lot of this. And like I said, usually just restarting a hub will cause another to take over. Oh, Randy says the fiance doesn't know about my FP2s that I installed. All right, well, we'll keep quiet. Good luck with that. Do you think Apple will support cameras over Matter and also allow us to use iCloud? No. Well, yeah, eventually. I don't know. I don't know how Apple is going to take. It's really up to the Matter standard, I think. So I'm not really sure how Apple's going to implement this. It'll be definitely interesting to see if we can still use HomeKit Secure Video. I would sure hope so, but I don't know if that's going to be a limitation with the Matter standard or not. That's a good question. I have several HomePods and 5 Apple TVs, so how do I tell which one to use as a hub? It seems to be random. It is completely random. It's completely up to the HomeKit gods. I don't think there's anything we can do other than just like restarting them and then hoping the right one takes over. Yeah, there's nothing you can do to control which one is primary. You can unplug one and then another one will usually take over. But other than that, that's about it. Did you have any issue connecting your cubes to Apple Home? I did not. No, mine connected right away. I didn't have any issues with those. The Yeelight cubes, yeah, they've been fine. Let's see. Jamone says, hey Shane, just got fiber optic. What do you think about Cat 8 cables? Probably overkill. I don't think it's necessary. I'm no network engineer or network professional, so take everything I say in that regard with a grain of salt. But you probably don't need anything more than Cat 5, Cat 6, you know. But again, not an expert there. Let's see. Jackson says, have you got the Aqara T1 Lightstrip? Yeah, Jackson, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. So I did a little YouTube short. It's on my channel right now. Also over on Instagram, an Instagram reel where I just talked about all the features and everything you really need to know. I'll be doing a video soon where we're talking about this and comparing it to some of the other Matter light strips. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to try to release that as soon as I possibly can. So hopefully Apple updates the HomePod Mini to support Matter. HomePod Mini supports Matter already. Stian Johansson says, moved some Aqara hubs to Matter for testing. The first time I moved, I got double duplicate icons. The others I removed, deleted the connection to HomeKit before. Yep. Yeah, so that's what we were talking about earlier, and thanks for confirming that. So same thing there, getting those duplicates when you update your Aqara stuff to Matter. Unfortunately, I really wish they would streamline that a little bit. What's the best Wi-Fi router to make multiple networks, main, IoT, guest? I don't know. Well, I haven't tested them all out, and that's not my area of expertise by any means. I'm not sure I'm not sure if I have an area of expertise. But no, I do know the Orbi, Netgear Orbi is the one I've been using, and it does give you the ability to set up a main, an IoT, and a guest network. So that is one of them. I'm sure there are others that also allow you to set up a separate guest and an IoT network. I'm just not really sure off the top of my head which ones kind of out of the box allow you to do that or have that already set up. Good question there. Are you gonna get a Vision Pro? I am gonna try to. Yep, I mean, they're so expensive. But fortunately, we had plenty of time to prepare, so I have already begun saving. And yeah, I don't know if I can not get one of those. God, they're so expensive, but I want to try one so bad. Let's see. Larry has a question here. I have an LG 86-inch TV compatible with HomeKit, but unfortunately it will not let me choose what input select once setting a scene. I have it. I am not really sure about that, Larry, because I don't switch the inputs on my TVs ever. Like I don't do any gaming. I don't have any other peripherals. I'm kind of boring. I just have my TV connected to an Apple TV, and that's literally all I use. So I'm really not sure about switching the inputs, but I thought you could do that with a TV in HomeKit. Your area of expertise is Apple Smart Home, and teaching all the ins and outs. First place I come every time. Well, thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. And that is kind of funny to hear me, be considered my area of expertise. When I started this channel, those of you who were there in the early days, I was just documenting the process along the way. So I was just kind of building my own smart home. I mean, I still am, that's what I'm doing, and we're just learning along the way. I definitely still have issues with it myself, as you have heard plenty of today. So it's fun. We're kind of helping each other along the way with this smart home stuff. Any noteworthy features to the Home app in the upcoming iOS 17 that you know of? Oh, that's a good question. There's really not a whole lot. Probably the best update to the Home app specifically that I know of is the what do they call it? History, or it's like a log of your secure accessories and stuff. So you'll be able to see a log of like doors, that were unlocked and stuff like that. So that's nice. But other than that, I really haven't seen or heard of anything. Sam says your area expertise is patience. I don't know about that. I try my best, I guess. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Not now, Dave. I appreciate that. Having to remove and reset up all my HomePod minis after a power outage. Wow, that's not fun. The restart option doesn't work. Is this normal? No, it's not normal for the restart option not to work. So I guess you're talking about in the home app where you can restart there. If you want to completely reset them, so two things here. If you just want to restart them, you can do that in the Apple Home app. If that doesn't work, unplugging it and plugging it back in is kind of the same thing, from what I understand. And if you need to do a hard reset and like a factory reset, then to do that, what you do is you hold the touch interface of the HomePod and plug it in, and just keep holding down. Once you plug it in, it's like 10, maybe 20 seconds, and eventually that little spinny light is going to turn red, and that'll be a factory reset. So maybe that's what you need to do. Not the most fun thing when you have to factory reset anything, but hopefully that helps. Mark says, if you were doing your home security again, would you buy a Bode or would you build DIY with accessories? Yeah, I think that's a good question, because it's been a while since I started with a Bode. I would do a Bode still. There's just still not a really good HomeKit. There's just really not good HomeKit features around security, unfortunately. It would be great if that was built into HomeKit, but it's really not. Now there are some workarounds. In fact, there's a way now you can speaking of this will kind of get me off. I'll go off on this one, but with the new ability to export scenes from the Aqara app, you can actually export a scene that triggers your Aqara alarms. So you can have them flashing and trigger the security, the alarm sounds and stuff like that through the home app. So you actually could do more with that if you have Aqara now. I think that's a pretty good option. Just a couple years ago, you couldn't do that. So that's probably what I would do if I wasn't using a Bode. But a Bode is still just such a good, all-in-one system, I feel like. I really like having the keypad. That's another big thing that I couldn't do, with the DIY system, with just different HomeKit accessories. So having that keypad is a really nice one I use it all the time, and also, my family and stuff. So, I'd still probably go with the Bode if I were starting over again. All right, well, guys, it has been our time here today. Thank y'all so much for hanging out, as always. If I didn't get to your question or comment, I'm sorry. I did try. I hope you got something out of this today. And stay on the lookout for new videos. I do release new videos every Sunday, no matter what. That's going to continue. We'll do these live streams every Wednesday. Usually, no matter what. If there's an issue, I'll always announce if we can't make it. But every Wednesday, otherwise, and turn on notifications, because I'm going to try to do some videos outside of that normal Sunday schedule here in the near future. We've been doing a little bit of that in the past, and hopefully some more coming up soon. Yep, hit the like button. Thank you, Pokey McMaster. And everybody else, thank you for the moderators for helping out today. And I appreciate you guys hanging out, supporting the channel. It's been fun as always. And until next time, y'all have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. All right, see y'all later.